welcome back to the MGM Podcast. We have not been saying the name of the podcast. We've just been saying the podcast.
Y'all know what you're here
like
for.
it's the only fucking one.
Just...
I mean, it is the best one.
So this week is my week, and we could not decide what we were going to do. Because, like, we were thinking of doing America stuff.
I'd like to talk about Captain America.
No, she wants to talk about Captain America.
No, I want to talk about Steve Rogers because he means a lot to me. Okay.
This is why she's not allowed. Did you see her reaction? Oh my goodness.
America! And also
Steve Rogers.
Okay. Anyway. So we're going to do America Month, but also the 4th of July is over, and also I'm not very proud of America, so why?
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm just saying.
Woody
Not
Guthrie
to be political,
wrote all of those
but
America
there's...
songs. They were very, like, America needs to get its shit together kind of songs. And people sing them like, yay, America. And it's like, do you not understand what Woody Guthrie was doing?
It's great.
Like, do you not understand?
It's great.
Apparently
Anyway.
So,
I'm just saying, I would not feel as comfortable.
well, I mean... Like,
I don't know, because there's concentration camps. So
No, we said no politics.
I know I'm not supposed to say politics, but I'm just
No.
giving a reason on why.
Just give me
So-
a reason. Just
just in the current political climate, America...
It's not deserved. So,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, I would like to talk about Nicolas Cage. So that's why, instead of doing National Treasure, I'm going to talk about Moonstruck. Because I
it's still Nicolas
love that
Cage.
movie. And it's still Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. So I was like, well, fuck it up. I could just,
do one of his first, if not his first movie. 1987.
I honestly
This
don't know
movie
what his
is
first movie
super
was.
good.
3 Academy Awards.
Nicolas Cage is terrible.
Nicolas Cage is terrible.
I love him so much. He's
I
the
totally get what they were trying to do
Nicolas
with Ronnie
Cage.
Camilleri. Ronnie Camilleri is a romance novel hero. I know. But 100%, he's got that personality where he's very dark and fiery, passionate.
No, the problem with this movie is that the
broody
script,
shit. Like, okay, sorry.
every single other character has an amazing character. Everyone has their own, like, you can see exactly who these people are, like, they're real people.
Yeah.
But
not Ronnie.
Nicolas Cage's character is
so
just there to
melodramatic.
be...
He's so... I see the end here! Nicolas Cage on a good day is
everyone
over
has
the
their
top.
own, like, things, but he's such a weird character that is just, like, I don't know, he just doesn't quite fit. And I don't know if it's because it's Nicolas Cage.
No, it's the script.
Or if it's the
Nicolas
script.
Cage
Well,
was in a movie called National Treasure.
Honestly...
And he acted really well.
Yes, he did.
In
super
National
well.
Treasure. When you give him a good script, he's amazing. But when you give him vampire movies where he eats cockroaches,
Right.
that's
The original
also Nicolas
script
Cage.
for that one
he
wanted
ask-
an egg. He asked for the
He
cockroach.
asked for more.
That's Nicolas Cage.
He thought it wasn't good enough. What is that movie called? Vampire's
Vampire's
Kiss?
Kiss.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is...
Watched it with Jenny. It was weird.
No, just don't.
Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is very hit and miss.
It's extremely hit and miss.
He is very
He
much.
wants that cake.
Honestly, I like Ronnie Camilleri. He is interesting. He is dark and twisted and
he's
confusing.
Just such
Jeanette's
like
really
a
into that,
13-year-old
though.
boy
But
writing poetry
God, yeah,
in his
he's
bedroom.
He's so
He's
edgelord.
just so
He's so like
great. And all the
Yeah.
other characters are very real, down-to-earth people that are just living day by day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
basic human people.
It's the
you know?
story of
There's no-
Cher.
So,
It's the story of
yes.
Cher.
And also,
To the
we
backdrop.
talked about Moonstruck a little bit whenever Angela was here
Yes.
a couple
Angela
months
doesn't
ago.
like it.
She does not like fucking Cher. She doesn't like Moonstruck.
Well,
Rephrase.
Rephrase.
I think Cher did really well. in
Cher,
Moonstruck.
and she
She's
won an Oscar
beautiful.
for a reason.
And
did.
like
So,
I
how
like
did you- I
Loretta's
just don't-
character. She's got her things that she's trying to work on.
I mean, she's got
and
issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the whole... I mean, she was with...
She's with
Johnny-
Johnny Camilleri.
No, wait, is it the other way around?
She was with Johnny Camilleri.
She
And
gets
Ronnie is
engaged.
Nicolas
Ronnie
Cage.
is Nicolas
Okay.
Cage.
Johnny
So
Camilleri.
Johnny Camilleri.
And
Yes.
he goes back to
Can I-
Italy.
Can I say real quick? I love how all of the last names are 4 syllables, starts with a C, Italian names. They're all Castorini, Camilleri, Capomaggi. They're all.
Speaking
I
of
love
Italian names, hey Daphne,
Oh my god.
there were 3
Oh my
Oscars
God.
for this movie.
I hate you so much.
And Cher won 1 for Best Actress, Olympia Dukakis won 1 for Secondary Best Actress, but who won the 3rd one? What's Vincent Gardenia?
Vincent Gardenia.
What's his
That's
real
his
name?
No.
His birth name?
No.
Well, I mean, what's Michael Caine's birth name? It
Vincenzo.
doesn't matter. His name
It's
is Michael Caine.
Vincenzo.
Scagnamiglia.
She can't say it.
I
love
literally
this.
cannot. I can't. It's
Namiglia.
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 But this movie did win multiple Oscars.
3.
Yeah,
That's
all
the
3
important thing
Oscars.
here.
It's a good, like, the script is
Yeah.
fucking amazing. Like,
They were
straight
also
up.
nominated for the script, yeah.
Yeah, you know. Because everyone has their own characters, everyone has their own place in the movie. And it is about family mostly, but it's also about her and her finding, like, romance and figuring out herself, you know. So basically the whole thing, I guess we should describe it if you haven't seen it.
Well, it's Italian-American.
It's in New York.
Yeah.
And she is with Johnny, and he proposes to her, but he's a really awkward, kind of gross guy.
He's the big baby.
Yeah. So they get engaged, and then he goes off to Italy because his mother's dying.
Yeah, and he feels like he cannot get married until after his mother is at peace. Like, that's his thing.
Right.
And also you gotta tell your mom you're getting married. That's important.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when she's on her deathbed in Italy. It's important.
Why do you make me wait?
He's just sobbing.
God. But then he asks her, like, hey, I have some bad blood with my brother. We haven't talked in, like, 5 years.
He does this, and then he looks at his hand, and
he goes,
and
that's
you can tell
honestly,
it's so dramatic.
Honestly, can I borrow you for a second? Who gestures with their left hand?
Maybe he's
He's
left-handed.
gonna be left-handed.
Is he left-handed though?
He was
I don't
wearing the ring
think
on his
he
left hand,
is.
wasn't he?
That
Yeah, on his
doesn't
pinky
mean
ring?
anything.
Yeah.
That scene is always awkward for me because I know they did it.
And then he goes,
Yeah, I haven't spoken in 5
and
years.
it's because Ronnie Camilleri has a dark, dark past.
No, it's
Oh
just
my
awkward
God.
blocking. It's like that awkward
It's-
blocking in Fierce Creatures where Jamie Lee Curtis has to back
Where
up
she kind of stands
against
in
the
the
shelf.
way.
She has to back up and step to the left, and it's really awkward. Like Jamie Lee Curtis tried so hard.
That.
It's in the scene where he's going to accidentally feel her up by reaching behind
What's
him.
the word for that? Telegraphing? There's a word for when you're anticipating and you kind of show...
You accidentally show that
You
you're
accidentally
planning
show
it.
that you're anticipating a thing.
That's
even
what
though
it
it's not
kind of
supposed to be
is.
anticipated.
In Moonstruck, he
And-
kind of goes 5 years. Oh God!
Oh,
And it's just
God.
a little bit awkward to me.
Well, that was probably literally written in the script.
Yes, I
If
know.
it was not.
Looks at his hand in disgust.
Looks at his hand. Oh God!
looks at his hand and cringes. The
Yeah.
audience goes, "What happened there?"
Well,
Right.
It's very subtle.
It is not subtle. It's
It's-
in the shot. Here's his face.
If
Here's
you're
her
paying-
face, and his hand goes,
like,
"Oh no!"
honestly,
like, it's not subtle.
Watching this movie took me a lot of views to catch everything because it is a subtle movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's a setup that you don't understand the first time you watch
Well,
it.
yeah, exactly.
So,
yes. Well, I mean, honestly, there's a scene near the end where Ronnie goes to the house and he meets Mr. Castorini, Loretta's father, and they kind of shake hands and they're like, "Yeah, nice to meet you," and they're very tense about it. And it took me 5 or 6 times watching this movie to realize, oh my God, I know why they're tense.
because they met before.
Because they met before.
But they're pretending they didn't.
Yes.
They were both cheating on people
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
This movie.
Well,
This movie is problematic.
a little bit.
In ways.
People do things in this movie that don't 100% make sense to me.
Well, that's the
Like-
thing. Like, okay, so there's this one scene where she goes to tell him.
Share.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so Cher goes to Nicolas Cage to be like, hey, he wants to apologize for the bad blood, whatever. You should come to the wedding. He's getting married and you're invited.
Yes, he's
And
invited
he's
to
like,
the wedding.
fuck you, because tragic past and it's my brother's fault and that's why we haven't talked. And it's this big dramatic, he throws things.
Yeah.
It's Nicolas Cage's first scene in his first movie. I'm pretty sure it's his first movie.
Is
Let
this
him
his first
live.
movie?
He's screaming at his
Let him
hand.
live.
I lost my hand! And he's
lost my brother.
in the middle of
Johnny
it.
has his hand.
Johnny has his
Oh
hand.
my
You want to take my
God.
heartbreak? Don't forget!
It's very like Johnny.
It's so
No.
dramatic.
Right.
It's
Ronnie
so
needs to
like
calm
there's
down.
so
Most
many emotions in
annoying,
this
piercing
movie.
thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't know what it's like to be in the middle of that.
One more time.
No.
It's
Anyway,
it's a
it's
really
very dramatic.
good-
So basically, the bad blood that happens is basically
It's
that
bad blood.
the brother comes in to get some fucking bread, and Nicolas Cage makes him bread, and he slices his own hand in the slicer because he wasn't
he's not
paying
paying
attention.
That's on you, not on Johnny.
And so he blames
But
him
he-
because he's the one that
yeah,
asked for that bread.
the
When
reason I
how
have
many
this
other
wooden
bread
hand
loaves
is
have you
because-
ever made?
yeah.
And yet,
Yeah, and the worst part of
Yeah.
that story, in my humble opinion, is when he's telling Cher about it, and he says, and then my fiance, when she found out
That
that
I
I'd
could
lost my
manage.
hand, she left me for another man. And Cher immediately goes, but that's not Johnny's fault. And he freaks out. I don't care.
Well, it's not Johnny's fault.
But
obviously, that woman's a whore.
Overlooked,
that
my
woman,
good sir.
I'm sorry. That woman is not a good person.
That's the problem. Is that he overlooked that because let me point something out to you, Nicolas Cage. Let me read your own story back to you. If I'm just meeting you right now. And I'm learning this right now. Let me tell you what you just told me. You just told me that your fiance left you when you got badly, badly injured. So let me ask you a question that's completely rhetorical, Nicolas Cage. Did she already have someone else because she was cheating on you? Or did she replace you on purpose? I don't care what the answer is. Yeah. The answer is she's a bad person.
Quite honestly.
And you are glad to be rid of her. You should be glad to be rid of her.
If you are engaged to someone... You get engaged when you love someone. This is like the traditional American way, okay?
Right.
Like I know that people will get engaged for other reasons, but I expect if I'm going to watch a movie, you're engaged because you feel a connection to that person. You love that person.
These are lower class, middle class people.
These are
in New York.
These are
working class.
Working class Americans. Like I expect that she loved him, right? If he loses a couple of fingers, like it's just the hand,
right?
He's still him. He can still bake the bread. He is baking the bread. He's in there shoveling hot dough in and out of that hot hole in the wall. And
should be so happy. Ah, sweetie. Nobody calls me sweetie. Nobody ever.
I know.
Do not ever call me sweetie. I will freak out because of this movie.
Well,
I can't do
mean,
it.
It's always a passive.
Well, because it comes out
thing.
of nowhere and it's gross.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the thing is, like,
sweetheart.
him losing the hand, that does not make him less of a person. That changes literally nothing about him except that he can't bend these fingers. Like that's.
But it's emotionally scarred him as well because that's a big issue.
He feels betrayed by everybody. He's like reaching out and lashing out at everybody because clearly
he's got a lot of anger.
God had it in for me kind of thing.
Right. When it's an accident and accidents happen,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He's gonna take it however he's gonna take it. But the whole thing was they go back to his house and she makes him food in his house, which is fucking weird. Like I get it, she's Italian. Like everyone, that's the whole big thing is like food. But I just don't. I would never go to a stranger's house and cook for them.
I'm gonna cook you steak.
Like it's
Did you bring
weird.
the steak? Did you
Right,
did you dig through his fridge and find steak? Like
I don't know, but
where'd the steak come from?
The whole thing because she's not even eating steak. She just made it for him and then made herself something else.
I thought she made her steak.
She didn't. No,
she had
a cup of something.
No, she had steak.
She had steak.
She was chewing.
She made them both steak.
Give me a glass of whiskey and she wipes her mouth.
Yeah.
But no, the whole thing about that was there's this weird sexual tension.
Yes.
But it doesn't make sense from her perspective. It makes sense from his perspective.
It totally makes sense from her perspective. I'm sorry.
No, it does not. Okay, no.
Here's what happens. Romance novel
so
hero. He is very much...
No. He is an angry, sweaty, bitter man. No. So what happens is they go and she starts telling him about himself and saying, I can read you like a fucking book. I know how you're feeling and you did this to get out of the relationship so you chewed off your own foot kind of thing. And
as Freud would say, there are no accidents. So.
Shut up with Freud.
I know, Freud.
I got some opinions about Freud.
I can understand from his perspective why he would like her because he's probably never had someone tell him how it is, tell him to shut up, tell him stop being a big baby, and also is cooking for him and doing all this.
Chrissy told him she wouldn't bring in the knife, so she is talking back to him a little.
Yeah, but not telling him
you need to
who
get your
he
shit
is
together.
as a person like that. Like no one's ever been probably reading him. You know what I mean? And she did that, so I can understand that from his perspective, like holy shit, you might be the one. Because,
honestly, I think it's out of revenge. I think part of it
that's true.
Because he is angry with Johnny. He thinks that Johnny took his fiancée away, so he's going to take Johnny's fiancée away. That's just what it is.
And also he hasn't had anybody for years.
And also he hasn't, and it is Cher
but
at this point. Oh my god.
He basically gets pissed off, stands up, hesitates, flips the fucking table.
Things go flying.
And
Cher's
then
sitting in the chair.
picks her up and takes her to bed.
Yes.
No, they kiss heavily.
They kiss a little.
Yes. And then she's like, wait a minute.
And
as a child, when I was watching this movie,
where'd that come from?
I never understood. I was like, why would you flip a table and then go fuck? It doesn't make sense to me. And so I asked Mom, I was like, what is even the point? Why would she do that? Why would he do that? Like, whatever. And her response was always, you'll understand when you're older. And I disagree. I disagree. I still don't understand. I can understand, there could be sexual tension, but I'm not going to bang someone because you're aggressive in front of me the entire time. He was yelling at her the second they met her. He hung up on her the very first time they talked.
And she called him an animal. What an animal.
Right, And then he's throwing things and causing a scene and yelling at the other women.
In fairness, Johnny's really boring.
Johnny is really boring.
Johnny's super... I want to see the dessert card. You know, he's very subtle. He didn't
Right.
even buy the ring. He's not very passionate.
He didn't.
That's
If
the
you're
point.
going to propose to me,
I'd have sprung for the ring, capiche? I mean,
Yeah.
even the other diners are like, why didn't you get her a ring? Why aren't you kneeling to propose to her? Why aren't you doing any of the quote-unquote romantic
Yeah, she has
things?
to tell him to do
so
all that.
that's the
Yeah.
purpose of Johnny's character,
he's just
is
kind
to
of like,
be
will
the
you marry me?
fiery,
And then Boba brings
passionate,
over
romantic side
Yeah.
of the relationship.
Yeah, but
And that's what the movie's going
anger
for.
and passion are different.
Yeah.
But
You know
he's
what I
supposed
mean?
to be passionate.
Well, I mean,
It's partially anger, but it's
honestly,
because of the passion.
when you watch, like, A Streetcar Named Desire,
Marlon Brando.
well,
What about Marlon
Stella, what is it that draws Stella to Marlon Brando?
It's Marlon
Other
Brando.
than it's Marlon Brando.
Right.
But, like, you watch this play, and he's very brutish, he's very harsh, he's very mean, but Stella is still completely 100% devoted,
Right.
you know? And you sometimes have these relationships where you have this one character who is kind of brutish, and this other character who is drawn to that.
You run to the wolf with me, that'll make you no
You
lamb.
run to the wolf with me, yeah.
There's good
Yeah,
dialogue
that's
in this
the-
film. No, I think that's what I think they're trying to go for, is it's the passion of it, because that's what that's the whole difference between her relationship with Johnny and her new meeting this guy named Ronnie, is that Johnny's relationship was very soft and nothing really happened. Do you love him, Loretta? No, I don't, but he'll be fine, he's a good man, whatever.
Right.
So she's kind of settling,
She's like, okay, that's
and
good.
she's just like,
Good
yeah, he's
enough.
good enough, I don't
Well,
love him.
because she had a relationship before where
Yes.
she was in love with the guy, but then he got hit by a bus.
Yeah, and now
And
she has
so-
bad luck. And she's
yeah,
like,
so
I
now she
don't...
thinks she has bad luck.
Yeah, and if she goes with Johnny...
And then she keeps
she's not
complaining
gonna
her
have-
stupid fucking decisions on bad luck, and I'm like, no, you're just
Yeah.
making decisions. Like, that's
Yeah.
not fate. You chose that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's got some issues.
I have a problem with Loretta.
Loretta...
Her decision making is just not what...
functional.
Well,
I
I think
don't know.
your scene, the worst one that you have, is the scene in the snow, right? She's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it's
don't
ridiculous.
understand that scene at all. I
How is that
accept
romantic?
It, but it's
his
not.
last words after this entire emo monologue about how we should... Well, I'm just saying...
The world is
it's all
a
like,
cesspit. Come up
the
here
world
and fuck
is terrible,
me.
so you
Like,
should come have sex
wow.
with me just because this is the best we're gonna get.
Wow.
And his last line is,
Swoon, I guess.
and get in my bed, and he screams and points to the door, and
Well,
then she just
doesn't
goes,
he
"Okay."
he reaches
And
for her.
no, he's like, come on.
He's very
I
smart.
know,
He's very, like,
but that's
like-
not romantic. You're not gonna
No.
scream at me and
No.
then go, like, I don't.
No, it's not gonna
they're
work for me.
trying to go for passion.
passion. Well, yeah,
Passion
because
and
obviously,
anger.
well, the reason that Loretta goes with him,
not us.
Not
We
us.
are here to ruin
Ruin
ourselves
ourselves.
and to love the wrong
Right,
people
man.
and
And
die.
die.
I mean, the storybooks are bullshit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be real. It's
Why
supposed to be
should
real.
I'm not
I
gonna
go
love that. I'm gonna be-
upstairs with you
honestly,
just
I'm
because
the
you
kind of
say
person-
this is how life is and you
Yes.
should make a shitty decision because that's what we that's
That's
what makes
how
us
humans are.
human.
No,
Because
is
you're
to make
playing
shitty
it
decisions.
safe. He's
No.
like, you're playing it safe.
You
and
are
know
talking
you're
my
gonna-
panties off, and I don't appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
not. That's not how it works.
the reason Loretta goes with him is because she is in love with the guy. Like, this is, at this point,
Right.
she is.
She knows it's
completely-
wrong because she is. I mean,
She
she's,
is
it's his
engaged.
brother. If
She
it
is
wasn't his
gonna have
brother, I don't think it
consequences
would
to
be
this.
as.
It would still be bad.
I mean, it's still
If
bad. Like she's
cheating
still
on your
cheating.
fiancé, that's
That,
not
see,
okay.
that's why we think the movie While You Were Sleeping is slightly more morally acceptable.
She wasn't ever actually engaged.
Is that she wasn't
True.
actually
She's not
engaged.
cheating on Peter.
True.
She's just in love with Jack.
She just likes him from a
For
distance,
good
and then they
reasons.
think that she's engaged.
He's
not
pretty.
lusting after Bill Pullman over there. But in While
Bill
You Were
Pullman.
Sleeping, Sandra Bullock has a crush on Peter Gallagher from a distance,
Yes.
and then saves his life, and then the family thinks she's engaged to him.
And he's unconscious,
But
that
she's
time.
never engaged
He
to
knows
him.
nothing about it.
And
Yeah.
then she slowly falls in love with
Right.
Bill Pullman's
This
character,
one, she's
Jack.
actually engaged. They actually
Yeah.
kissed. They actually.
They're actually
they were
engaged.
actually
They actually
engaged.
There's a ring
planned
on
a
her
date.
actual finger.
in public.
Yes, set a
The lady-
date for the movie.
Right.
So for,
And
for the
he wasn't a good fit for her,
Yeah.
so it's justifiable there. You know, I mean, he's not a good fit. Not only the ring and everything and how
He
he
is-
did it, and
Well, when he comes back and he breaks off the engagement, that's when you know he's not a good man. Like,
Right.
up until that
it doesn't
point,
make any fucking sense.
Well,
he's,
he's
letting
just-
his mother control his
he's
life.
letting
That's
his
what
mother-
Ronnie
well,
says.
he's-
You're 40 years old, you're still letting her run your life.
kind of dull. He's kind of boring. He's kind of awkward. But he's not necessarily a bad man. He's just kind of schlemiely, you know. And then
Samil Samaz.
yeah, and then when he comes back and he says, "I have to break it off with you because my mother's alive and okay.
Right, if
and
we get married, my mother will die.
Clearly, this is a sign that
that means he's perfect for her. They both believe in that kind of stuff. You know, she's like, I can't go and marry you because I forget.
Okay, but what happens when she dies in the future? Because she will die in the future. Everybody fucking dies. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Well,
if I marry you, she's gonna die. Well, she's gonna die anyway.
It's like the lady with the plane. I put a cuss on that plane. It's very curses and religion and belief, and they go to a Catholic ceremony in the middle of this movie. Cosmo's cheating on me. You know?
Yeah, she goes to confession.
So I'm just saying that
Cosmo is cheating. First off,
Cosmo
I don't
is bad.
like it. Olympia Dukakis is a lovely woman.
Oh my
Her
God.
hair is beautiful.
She's wonderful.
She is a very nice lady. She makes the breakfast when she cooks. And
you know what we found out? We were watching Moonstruck. Olympia Dukakis, she's like the motherly figure, right? Like her whole thing is to be the mom. She's got gray hair. She's gorgeous. Whatever. The Johnny Camerari, the guy that Cher was engaged to. He is only 2 years younger than Olympia Dukakis. And I thought that was fucked. I thought she had to be like 15 years older.
Cher is probably like 40. And I thought that Johnny Camerari was probably like 45. Like, that's what I was thinking.
And then I was thinking the mother was like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
no,
she was
apart.
at least 60 because if she's got Cher as a daughter and Cher is definitely 40.
I really love the small things in this movie that Olympia Dukakis does.
Oh, yeah.
The small reactions.
The time when she pinches
when she
Cher's
pinches her
arm.
when she walks by.
When she, at the very end of the movie,
she sees that Nicolas Cage.
What happens is that Cher has just spent the evening with the passionate Ronnie Camerari. And she comes home and she's got a love bite on her neck, and the mother's like, "You got a love bite on your neck. Your husband comes back from Sicily. What's the matter with you?" You know. And so she's hiding in the closet trying to get dressed because she's still wearing her ball gown from the night before. She bought that fancy dress from the night before.
That's why she was in the closet.
She goes into the closet to change clothes.
That's why. She wanted her to see her in the fucking dress.
Yeah, and so Olympia Dukakis is like, "He's coming back from Sicily. What is the matter with you?" And then the doorbell rings, and it's Ronnie instead of Johnny. And she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Ronnie. I'm the brother." And she's like, "Oh, come on in. You got a love bite on your neck." And then as she's walking down the hall, she passes Cher, and she pinches her really hard on her arm, just like, and Cher even
you can
goes
see
like,
she makes a motherly face, too. She goes, as she, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my favorite stuff is the little stuff.
She's a really good character. And
I
her whole
really
thing
like
is,
Olympia Dukakis. I think
her character is very good.
She is lovely. She is sweet. She deserves better than Cosmo.
Right.
Well, in fairness, he is having
He's having a midlife crisis at 60. Whatever. He's got a girlfriend.
He's having an existential crisis where he's like, "I'm gonna die.
Right,
I can't even sleep because
yeah.
I feel like death.
I don't like dying. I don't want to die. If I have a young girlfriend, that'll keep me alive." So he's cheating on his wife with Mona. Who is
Which they never show them like doing anything. They just show him buying her a necklace and then going out to dinner.
They go to the opera. She kind of flirts with him a little. He flirts with her a little.
Right.
They kiss in the car, don't they?
They do kiss, I think.
Yeah, they
In
kiss
the car on the way in.
Yeah.
They don't show much.
They don't show much,
but probably.
Probably.
You know, it's still cheating regardless.
Yeah.
It is cheating.
Just how far you take it.
He's going on
matter.
fancy dates and giving this woman fancy gifts. Like it's like in Love Actually. You never see the cheating. But by God, it happened.
Right.
Like, again, I don't like it when people cheat on movies.
Well, it's not. It's good times. Anyway, but like I said, I really like this movie though because it does try to show what people go through and what people's reactions are, and things like that.
Well, especially John Mahoney's character.
Yes,
I love John Mahoney.
I'll be droning along.
His character, like his
beautiful new face.
Lines are actually really sad. You can tell he just needs someone.
Well, he wants someone to love him. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for someone to believe in him and to value him. And the problem is he's finding it in these 22-year-old women who are way too young for him. And
because they think he's smart.
They think
he's that makes him feel proud and makes him feel good of himself. Because he is smart, But then after a while, they find out he's not as exciting as they thought he was, and then they fucking dump it. And so he just kind of does this process over and over and over.
Too. Like he says some shit at the dinners. You hear them fight, and then they throw the water in his face.
Well, you can tell he's slightly misogynistic.
He is a little bit. She says, the one is like, you're making fun of me while I'm wallowing in the mud. And he's like, well, I think you like to wallow around in the mud and I don't. And that's the difference between us. Well, fuck you, man.
Right.
I'm out.
Well, and then he disrespects, what's her name? The mom.
Olympia
Dukakis. Yeah, he disrespects her.
Rita.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Isn't it Rita?
No, Rita Capomaggi is Raymond's.
Oh, that's right.
Isn't it?
Rose.
Rose. Okay.
Rose.
The only reason you know that is because whenever he wakes her up to tell her that
Rose.
Cher got engaged.
Yeah.
Rose.
Who's dead?
Nothing. Loretta's getting married.
Again?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. It's a really good movie.
The dialogue is good.
It's got some issues. It's got some very
Well, there's
kind
a lot
of
of
elements.
times when people are doing stuff and I'm like, I don't understand why you're doing it.
right.
But to be fair, in real life, I don't understand why people do stuff half the time. Because people
Right.
are doing stuff. Okay, I get it.
I mean, as like emo and poetic it can be sometimes,
Right.
it is pretty like down to earth of actual human beings. You know what I mean? Like, so I really like that everyone seemed like a real family. You know what I mean?
It did feel like a real family.
Yeah.
It was really nice. I love Raymond and Rita. They're my favorite characters.
Oh,
They have the cutest little marriage.
Cosmos Moon.
It's Cosmos Moon.
It's the
And
weirdest
just-
voice.
I love them. I think they're just adorable together. And, like, just the way they run their little business together and their little marriage, it's wholesome. You know what I mean?
And also the grandfather with the dogs.
The
you
grandfather
know?
with the
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
He's got a
Father's
tiny
father.
little
It's like the
He
beginning.
has this little, army of dogs.
Yeah.
One of them's an Australian Shepherd, but I don't know.
He's
the
got like
others.
6. Yeah, he's got like 6
He's got
dogs.
6
all
or
run
7
down.
dogs, and
He has like a border collie that eats shit going up the stairs.
Yes.
Like he tries to get on the stairs, he goes, and then runs again, and they left it in because it's perfect. But God,
Yeah.
the dogs, they follow the grandfather around, and he takes them for walks, and they howl at the moon, and
Mhm.
it's nice,
And again, Olympia Dukakis having some of the greatest lines of the film. Old man, you give that dog another piece of my food, I'm going to kick it till you're dead.
Yeah. He keeps getting up from the dinner
He
table.
does. He leaves
with
the
a
dinner
plate
table.
full of food, and he takes it over to where the dogs are behind a baby gate, and he puts the food on the floor for the dogs
Underneath the baby.
on a proper dinner plate.
He's just like, you know what?
And he does it like
which
twice.
is disrespectful. Like,
Well, yeah, like I cooked that. That's not dog food.
Right.
Give them dog food. Like,
But he loves the dog.
well, I know, but you're not supposed to give dogs human food. It's bad for their tiny bodies.
oh my goodness.
It's a good
Anyway,
movie. There's
it's
a
a
lot
really
of
good
things
movie.
like that are really good, and people do try to go through what they're, they try to work through their situations. They try to figure out what's best for them. So it's, again,
And then it ends happily.
Yes.
Everybody
Everyone's
ends
okay.
up fine, and for
The
some reason Johnny's
grandfather
not
and
livid.
Johnny are both confused, but they accept it.
Right.
They're just, all right, this is where we are now.
So
Well,
basically, the entire ending is that everyone ends up in the kitchen all at once because, of course, everyone has to be there.
I actually kind of love that it's a weird, like, fringe scene where everybody just kind of shows up. Everybody
Right.
just keeps flooding
everybody
in.
keeps
The
yeah.
whole family.
Well, I mean, because that kind of does happen in households like that. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Well, and in this case, it would make sense because that's where the Castarinis live. That's their house.
Yeah, so Loretta
Ronnie
and
is
her
going
dad-
because he wants to be with Loretta. Johnny is going because he wants to break up with Loretta.
And Rita and Raymond are there because she forgot to give him the money.
Because she went to the opera and forgot to take the money to the bank, and they're like, "Hey,
we have a business and we can't open our
No,
business.
our money."
Basically, everyone meets there, and Johnny thinks that Ronnie's there to fix the bad
mend the
blood.
bridge."
Yeah. And
There's no way up there.
Turns out,
yeah, and
He's
so
still your fiancé.
he tries to get her to go in another room, and she's like, "No, I need my family around me." And so
Because
he's
she's
like,
gonna tell
"We
him
can't
about the
get
Ronnie
we
thing."
can't get married because."
and then she gets
if I
upset about
marry
that.
you-
Like, you made me a promise, but Ronnie's like, "Loretta, what are you doing?"
What are you talking
Right.
about? I'm talking about a promise.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
So he makes her give her back the ring, and then immediately Nicolas Cage is like,
Can I borrow that
"You want to
ring?
marry me? Can I have that ring?" And so he proposes immediately, right there.
With
And
the
it's
Johnny's like,
pinky
"What?"
ring.
with Johnny's pinky ring.
With
It
Johnny's
wasn't
pinky
supposed
ring.
to be the
It's
ring anyway.
temporary.
Everything is temporary.
Don't
It's
use
it's nothing. I'll tell you what, Mr. Castorini has some of the greatest dialogue in this movie.
Right.
Like, he is not.
Vincent Gardini's a real good actor.
He's a real good actor.
He was nominated.
I don't
an
think that
Oscar.
Mr. Castorini should be followed. I think it's kind of like in Hamlet when Polonius gives that really good speech to Laertes.
When Shakespeare let her live.
When Polonius gives that speech to Laertes, it's beautiful advice. It is great
Actually,
stuff.
Mel Gibson said that.
Actually, Mel Gibson
was that
said
Polonius
that.
guy?
I remember that properly.
Okay,
So,
I get that reference.
what I'm
but fuck
saying-
Shakespeare.
What I'm saying is,
Fuck top. Don't leave your
the
hand.
advice is
Oh my
great, but it's
God.
coming from someone who is not trustworthy.
Right.
Because he's cheating on his wife.
Exactly.
And also because he's scamming his customers.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
He's scamming his customers.
Yeah, there's that weird
You
scene
should
to
buy
tell
this
you
copper.
how he
With
makes
this
his
copper,
money.
which is the only kind I use. It costs money. It costs money because it's safe.
He wants $10,000
Yes.
to change all their pipes
Yeah, there's
to
that
copper.
weird
Yeah.
white lady. She goes, "That seems like a lot."
I think
And it's
we
just
should
so
listen to
weird.
Mr. Castorini, Hart.
It's because of her bangs.
She's got a bowl
her
cut.
square bangs across
And
her
she's
forehead.
very skeptical because she doesn't want to spend that kind of
That's
money
a lot
on
of money.
pipes.
You could buy a
You know,
car.
but Mr.
longevity,
Castorini,
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
If they're going to live in that house.
I guess he's
And
right.
he is a very wealthy plumber.
But
This
that's
is what
how
he
he's-
does.
Yeah, that's how he's rich as
And
Roosevelt.
that's how he owns the big house in the middle of the city because, you know,
It's
he
a huge house.
It's
I mean,
huge.
it's like a freaking mansion.
like it's a
it's
brownstone.
just this
like,
giant
yeah.
square thing. Like, yeah.
Well, that's what Frasier's dad. That's what he says.
John
John
Mahoney,
Frazier's dad.
the professor.
Martin Crane.
Do they even name him in this movie or just the professor?
I don't think he has a name.
Professor.
Yeah, he's just the professor.
We'll call
I
him the professor.
don't remember. Now I'm about to watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well,
if
he
had a
walks
name.
up with
I'm sure he had a
Mrs.
name.
Castorini. You know, he walked her home.
I'm replaying the whole movie in
And-
my head. They don't say it at all.
I don't think so.
I don't
And
think so.
she goes, "Well, this is me," and he goes, "Oh my God, it's a mansion. You know, he lives in a 1-bedroom apartment kind of thing."
Right.
And well, she's got a rich husband and a family.
And that's a really sad chemistry between the two of them because
Yeah.
she's sad because her husband's cheating, and that's why she was having dinner by herself anyway because she's sad and she don't know what else to do. You know,
Yeah.
because I mean, her job is to be a housewife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be comfortable by yourself if everyone leaves you.
Right.
Like,
And so they have nice chemistry of she's old enough for him, but she's also married and she's not going to betray her husband like that, even though he's doing the same thing. You know, and so they both just kiss each other on the cheek, and that's the end of it. But it's just kind of a sad,
that's the
what
last you see
could
him.
be kind of thing.
well,
So,
maybe he will learn something from this encounter. Maybe he will take.
well,
some
yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
things
I
that
think
she
he'll stop
told
going
him.
for his students.
Yeah, I think
You
maybe
know.
he'll recognize that's not working for me. I need to go for someone. Maybe another teacher would be
Right.
appropriate. Maybe
Mhm.
you know, someone more on his level.
Right. Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
Have we said everything we want to say? It's a good movie. Like,
It
it's
is a
really good.
The soundtrack is great. They
Yeah,
go to the
no.
Even though there's so
opera.
much opera, and
Like,
La Boheme is so
I'm
boring.
not a
I
huge
don't like
fan
La
of La Boheme. It's not bad, but it's not like
I mean, Rent is pretty terrible.
it's not as captivating as I'd like it to be. Honestly,
Wow.
Have you seen Rent?
like, Rent is pretty.
It's
awful.
pretty cringy.
Wow.
Stop an artist. It's.
Some of the songs
It's
are good.
fine. It's fine.
Like I do.
I mean, it's more entertaining than La Boheme.
You know,
So-
that's
Well,
interesting though as a
La Boheme is just
character
really-
that Ronnie would be into both baking bread but also opera because those two things are typically seen as opposites, right? Because Frasier Crane likes opera. But
But
lower
not
class people
hard-working.
bake bread, you know. So it's an interesting
Okay.
blend if you think about it. If you think
Well,
about it.
He wants that one day with the two things he loves most in the world: opera and you.
I'm just saying, you meet a guy and he's in a basement shoveling bread in a wall. The next scene, he's wearing a tux. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, when I
Like,
say
they're not-
romance novel hero, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
He's
just
not a
saying,
good character. He's the worst
not a good
character in
I
the
would not
movie.
be in love with him. I
Morality
would.
wise?
Well, okay.
No,
like,
he's just
in
boring.
the book, The Howl's Moving Castle. I'm not in love with Howl. He's an asshole. But I get why she goes for it.
Jeanette has similar thoughts in different movies and likes to compare them. It's like in the movie.
I mean,
Oh
we'll
my
talk about
goodness.
Howl's Moving Castle at one of these points. We're going to talk about adaptation. We have to.
Oh,
because-
yeah.
Yeah, and Howl's Moving Castle, I really like it. Diana Wynne Jones did not. But Howl is kind of an asshole, and I can't empathize, I guess, with the heroine who loves an asshole. Like, I get why you went for it.
What's the you
She
understand?
needs a
Nicolas
Mr.
Cage? Like,
Rochester.
I want me to fall in love with him too. Okay?
so,
this is what
are
I'm
you
here
in
for.
love with Nicolas Cage or not? I mean, I get
No,
those legs. That
He's an
one
asshole.
scene.
He is.
That one scene where he's sitting at the table and he's like, and he's in
He's wearing
jeans.
the black jeans.
He's this much taller than he should be to sit at that table.
He is.
It's a nice picture.
But if he would just run a comb
he's-
through his hair,
He's got like a mullet.
like his hair,
It's like
flays out of
Extra
the side.
long. Like they.
He's supposed to look like a wolf.
He's supposed
Wow.
to. Well,
He's
but
supposed to be a little bit.
But
Wolverine,
it's the
no.
back and the bottom
Well,
of
he-
it. I don't know.
honestly,
That's the
the
reason they
speeches
had him
that
have
he
that scruff and he
gives,
goes like
isn't
this to scratch his
Yeah.
face. Right when she says I'm a wolf and he does this.
Oh.
It's to make
It's
him
all-
look like a wolf.
It's a theme.
It's
Just
a
go
theme.
with it.
He's got to be rugged,
Any
but also in a
way.
tux. And that's the
But
that's
also
the
in a tux. That's the
weird
thing.
amalgamation that
I
is Nicolas Cage in this film. He's the bread maker.
You're
in a
classy,
tux.
but also
He's
brutish. You're
This movie would be perfect. It's just the only cringy parts are the parts with Nicolas Cage. I love Nicolas Cage, but it's so fucking cringy. And then there's that one part, and she's like, "Oh, there's nothing but the bones in my." And
Yeah,
then
I can't do
it's
that scene.
gross, and he's like,
No.
"There'll be
everything
nothing
away.
left."
Take everything away
Blech.
from Johnny, and then they have sex
No,
because
I don't need it.
passion.
I don't need it.
guess.
No.
I don't get it.
I wouldn't talk that way ever.
I-
Nor would
ever.
I let anyone
Yeah.
talk
But
that
do people
way.
actually talk
Like,
like that
please,
during sex,
no,
or is
no.
that just an '80s thing?
That would
Or
Stop
is-
it cold.
That's like dramatic.
Like,
Oh my
wow.
God.
Hold on a second.
Did you really just
What
say
did you
that?
just say?
Let's have a 12-minute
God.
discussion about what you just said. Oh, this movie. Ugh.
What does that even mean? Leave nothing but the skin over my bones.
Wreck her.
Yes.
Just like make me forget,
No, wreck
No,
my
no.
body.
or do you mean
You're
like
mad at your-
clapping cheeks?
No,
What does
no.
that mean?
You're
She-
mad at my brother.
Take
you're
it all
mad
out
at your
on
brother,
me.
so take it out on me. I want you to have so much hard sex with me
yes.
that nothing will be left. That's literally what she's saying.
Yeah.
So fuck me while also thinking about your brother.
Well,
Movie.
it's revenge against Johnny.
That's
because
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
hand
It's not
thing.
just revenge because he does actually like her.
He does. But
I mean, you
that
can't just
could-
get a boner out of revenge. Like, there has to be something else. I'm just saying.
Well, because she's fucking gorgeous is why. But there's that scene where she gets up and she's got the blanket around her and she's looking at the moon
That scene
and
is
he's like,
so. I love
it's
that.
so romantic.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the one scene where I'm like, okay, I understand the chemistry
Yeah.
between the two of you.
Isn't it romantic?
he tells her that, you know, she looks beautiful in the moonlight, and I'm like, Andre sings it to Mimi. There is no Andre, it's Rodolfo. And like, it all ties in together with La Boheme.
She makes these references within references, I swear.
And expects everyone to have seen Kate Leopold as well.
You all have seen Kate Leopold.
But
yes.
no, that part, I would cringe. Like, if I had just done things, right, with a gentleman, okay? And we're standing in a window, and I'm like, ooh, look, the moon's pretty. And he goes, it looks like a snowball. You look like an angel. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because that's the worst cliche and simile you could possibly drop on me, son. I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
my goodness.
No.
He's a little bit poetic.
I can deal with poetry. I cannot deal with that, okay? I wouldn't hit Nicolas Cage in this film, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, the
would
only
neither.
interesting thing really about him for me is that he has a bird. He has a bird as a pet.
He does have a bird.
And I don't know that many people that have birds.
I kind of like the wooden hand. I'm interested in the backstory. I'm kind of like, ooh, he's wounded. Like,
Oh my god.
like the disabled.
She was Florence Nightingale, I think, a little bit there. I don't think it was quite
It makes him interesting.
as gross as she made it.
Saying.
I think she's just being weird
I'm
again.
I'm not like fetishizing.
That's what it sounded
That's what it sounded like. What can we do with that wooden hand?
I don't want to know.
We're not going to use it.
No.
Like, no.
No.
Put that away.
Goodbye. That's the
Okay.
podcast. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
for watching.
Thank you for the podcast.
You should go watch Moonstruck. It's literally one of my favorite movies. Like, it's one of those movies where I can watch over and over and not get tired of it.
It's really good. And every time you watch it, you notice something new because it's fucking subtle.
Yes, there's like all these little things. Like, it's just packed full of
Mhm.
stuff. And there's like subtle comedy too, like that scene where she bumps into the nuns as she's going to cheat, to get ready to
Yeah.
cheat.
She's bought the dress, she's done her hair, she bumps into the nuns, she's like, oh god.
Yeah, and it's just like a
Because
symbolism thing.
Because
of,
again,
oh, God.
it's the religion and it's
Roman
the bad luck and
Catholicism,
it's the
Italian American,
Yep.
you know.
The only
Such
problem is like that. I hate that one scene. They go through the montage of her getting ready. Okay, I like that.
Oh, I hate the jazz. The
But
slow
when
jazz.
she, oh yes,
Saxophone, I hate it.
no, she gets out of the car, out of the taxi, and it's fucking silent, and you just hear other cars, and the camera zooms up to her face, and it goes da da. And that's literally it. And I'm like, it's supposed to be a wow, she's gorgeous, and this is her being fully ready to go out. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the end of the montage. Here I am at my best. But there's
But that
the
music
camera pans,
It's really-
but there's no
there's
like
no
swelling
rising
of
trill,
music
there's
and
no-
then that. It's just silent, silent. Da da! Surprise!
It's
And
supposed to be
it's-
like an opera where you
It's
suddenly
weird. It's
Yeah.
just awkwardly paced.
It's
like
supposed
it's
to
just
be
it's weird. Anyway.
an opera.
Anyway. Okay.
I like this movie.
Yeah.
It's a really
Oscar-winning,
good movie.
This
Yes.
movie taught me
A little bit confusing.
the word for slut in
but-
Italian.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Mr. Castrini, you're my daddy. Don't want to act like a potato.
I learned so many things. I learned opera.
And you're my
I learned
father.
bread making. I learned the art of cheating on people. I learned so many things.
Oh my goodness.
Samantha Luna.
Anyway,
Exactly,
okay.
Italian. There's so much Italian. Ti amo. I can't ti amo.
Yeah.
There's so much
Whose
Italian.
turn is it next?
That's my
Jeanette's
turn.
turn.
It's your turn? Okay. Anyway. Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
I love you. Goodbye.